I yield myself time off the bill. Mr. President,
Senator from New Hampshire.
the representation by the senator from Massachusetts that somehow this is outside the rules to proceed within the rules is a very unique view of the rules. We are using the rules of the Senate here. That's what they are, Senator. Reconciliation is a rule of the Senate set up under the Budget Act. It has been used before for purposes exactly like this on numerous occasions. The fact is that all this rule of the Senate does is allow a majority of the Senate to take a position and pass a piece of legislation. Support that position. Now, is there something wrong with majority rules? I don't think so. The reason the Budget Act was written in this way was to allow certain unique issues to be passed with a majority vote. And that's all that's being asked for here. No, I will not yield. The point, of course, is this. If you've got 51 votes for your position, you win. 51 votes to say there shouldn't be drilling, that there shouldn't be exploration, that this small postage stamp of land in this vast area of land should not be looked at for the purposes of giving us some independence in the area of energy, addressing our energy needs as a nation. If you've got 51 votes to say that, you win. If, on the other hand, the senators from Alaska, who feel that in good conscience they had a commitment from this Senate for many years that they would be allowed to pursue this initiative and that they can do it in an environmentally sound way, have 51 votes for their position, they win. That's the way the rules of the Senate are set up. So it is totally inappropriate for a senator to come to this floor and represent that this is some sort of unethical act, as was implied by the senator from Massachusetts. We are using the rules of the Senate as they are set up to be used, and that happens to be the rule of the Senate. Mr. President, I yield the floor.
Would be a political kamikaze mission for the Democratic Party if they jam this through after the American people have been saying, look, we're trying to tell you in every way we know how, in elections, in surveys, in town hall meetings, we don't want this bill. It would really be the end of the United States Senate as a protector of minority rights.
Senator Lamar Alexander talking about reconciliation as if it's the end of the world, warning of the apocalypse that will be brought down upon the Senate if it is used now. It must be hard to argue with a straight face if you yourself have voted to use reconciliation over and over and over again, like Lamar Alexander has. Like in 2003, when Lamar Alexander voted for the Bush tax cuts under reconciliation, or the 2 times that Lamar Alexander voted for reconciliation bills in 2005, or the time that Lamar Alexander did so in 2007. The very same reconciliation rules which he now speaks so apocalyptically of. The Google 1, Lamar Alexander 0. Joining Lamar Alexander in embarrassing himself on live television on this subject is Republican Senator and Sunday show more than regular John McCain. Senator McCain's big awkward lie down on the tracks to stop health reform came when he proposed changing Senate rules so reconciliation couldn't be used for anything involving entitlements. So, for example, nothing that affected Medicare could pass as part of health reform.
Entitlements should not be part of a reconciliation process, i.e. 51 votes. It's too important.
You know, today's John McCain should really talk to the guy who used to call himself John McCain about that, because that other John McCain consistently votes to change entitlements through reconciliation votes. In 2005, the Senate used reconciliation to pass the Deficit Reduction Act by the slimmest of margins. The vice president at the time, Dick Cheney, was needed as the tie-breaking 51st vote. That bill, among other things, slashed spending for the entitlement known as Medicaid. Among those voting yes to change this entitlement, Republican Senator John McCain. In 1989, the Senate used reconciliation to pass the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1989. That legislation, among other things, overhauled the doctor payment system for the entitlement known as Medicare. Among those voting yes to change this entitlement, Republican Senator John McCain. But now Senator John McCain says entitlements should not be part of a reconciliation process. It's too important, he says. Senator McCain now proposing to outlaw something that he has done repeatedly. John McCain once again taking a strong stance against his own beliefs. They are so desperate, for example, to stop Democrats from using reconciliation to pass health reform, that they've taken to calling it the nuclear option. A scary-sounding thing that has absolutely nothing to do with reconciliation. In fact, the real nuclear option was a Republican threat back in 2005 to take away the filibuster altogether. But since it sounds scary, why not call reconciliation the nuclear option and just hope the media repeats that weird ham-handed lie for you?
Isn't it interesting? What used to be called a nuclear option is now kind of a warm and fuzzy phrase called reconciliation.
That's right.
A completely different image than the explosion of the nuclear option.
No. Completely not what the nuclear option is. Why would that Fox News anchor mistakenly believe that bogus Republican talking point? Perhaps because he's been watching a lot of Fox News lately.
Republican lawmakers fear that Democrats will use the controversial nuclear option, or reconciliation, to pass health care with just 51 votes.
Reconciliation, or the nuclear option, requires only 51 votes to pass a bill on the Senate side.
The GOP slamming the majority for threatening to use the nuclear option, the Senate procedure called reconciliation.
Some Democrats want to use reconciliation, known as the nuclear option, to push through a health care bill with 51 votes.
So this may be the course, reconciliation, the nuclear option, we shall see.
You know, they say that they only push an agenda, they only sort of have opinions in their primetime hours. Just those guys at night. It's amazing. The nuclear option is a totally different thing than reconciliation. You guys could totally look it up. It is on the internets and everything. I checked today.